What's good everyone YouTube, it's me again, back with another video, and today we're talking about a pair of adidas Yeezys, and actually we're talking about one of the oldest colorways that exists that came out back in I think 2016. And this particular Yeezy 350 V2 is part of like the sort of like stripe pack per se. Now there was an original Black Friday sort of stripe pack with like red, olive and copper color, but then they ended up releasing this fourth colorway with a more cream stripe. And this was a shoe I never thought I'd own, but actually for my birthday my brother ended up getting me this pair. So thank you so much. Shout out to my younger brother. He actually has a YouTube channel. He doesn't upload, but I'll put a link down in the description. So yeah, we've got these on the channel today, and without further ado, today we're talking about the adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the Oreo colorway. So yeah, with the intro out of the way, let's just get straight into the box. So if anyone's ever watched a Yeezy video, I'm sure you've seen this box a million times. We've just got the classic 350 written on the top. It's a little dented, got Boost on the side. And actually, something that's changed over the years, back in the day they used to write Yeezy Boost 350 made by Adidas, adidas.com/Kanye, but ever since they've started removing that Kanye link. And we pull the box open. Inside the shoe we were just stuffed with some pretty standard paper. And another thing I remember from actually my old pair of Zebras from 2017 was they used to include 2 sheets of paper, and it was kind of like a weird double layered wrap. But yeah, nothing much about the box. And if we move to the side, it reads Yeezy Boost 350 V2. So the retail price on these retail for the same price as all other 350 V2s. They retail for a price of 340 Australian dollars. I guarantee my brother did not pay this. I have no idea how much he paid, so we're just going to put a mystery number, or I'll just put the retail price here. But yeah, as a gift it was free, so I guess that's okay, but it probably costed a fair bit at this point. But I'm still very appreciative of the gesture. So with the box out of the way, let's get into the shoes. I feel a jump cut coming, and here we are. The Yeezy Boost 350 V2 in the Oreo colorway. So I won't go too much into detail about like the 350 V2 as a whole. I'll just talk more a little bit about like the specific details on this Oreo and I guess these older Yeezys. And one of the first things to note is part of like this sort of like striped pack was we predominantly got black shoes with a single accent color on the side. So in this case, we've got this sort of creamish white color on the side. And it's not like a true white, it's very much like a beige color, which I actually think is quite nice. And the stripe, you know, fades at the toe. And another thing, we actually got a fade of the stripe at the back as well. So instead of ending abruptly like a lot of the new 350s that I've seen, where it literally is like a square at the end, we actually got this really nice speckling that, you know, sort of tapers off. And I actually think it looks far more elegant because of it. And another thing to note, I know these days some V2s have pull tabs, some don't, but back in the first like 4 to 5 releases, none of them came with pull tabs. And in fact, overall, just the shape of the older V2s was far more aggressive. You got a much bigger heel sweep, and the toe box is much more narrower. And another thing, and this was the last time they did it on a Yeezy before they just seemed to stop doing it, you can notice that there's this sort of speckling that sort of mimics the wave pattern of like the regular, say like Zebras or like even the Beluga 1.0s. And if you remember the Beluga 1.0s, we actually had speckling of orange underneath. And that's because like with these older Yeezys, they used to have an underlaying color that would actually peek through like the gaps of the shoe. So if you take a look on the inside of the shoe, you can see there's a lot of cream colored sort of knit used. And this sort of cream color sort of peeks through the holes. And I don't know why they stopped doing it. Like I actually think it made the shoe look really interesting. But you know, that's neither here or there. I'm just glad that this has it. And the last thing to note about this particular stripe pack is the writing of the SPLY 350 is written correctly on the left shoe, but on the right shoe it's mirrored. So we've actually got true symmetrical shoes, which I actually think looks really good. But in terms of like some like standard V2 stuff, we still got the strange 3M detailing on the heel, which I've always found really odd because it's on the inside of the shoe. You never really see it. And then moving down to the midsole, you've got this signature sort of ribbing that V2s are known for. And then moving to the outsole, you've got the same sort of lattice outsole. You've got Boost written on the bottom, adidas at the top, and you've got this window of Boost here. And a quick thing to note, I feel like the Boost compound has definitely changed over the years. At first when I saw this, I was a little worried. I was like, it looked kind of plasticky, but looking at old videos, all the old V2s kind of looked a bit plasticky. So they've definitely changed over the years, and it has changed the comfort, which I'll talk about in a bit. But that pretty much covers the main features of this particular shoe. Now, in terms of sizing, V2s definitely, especially the older ones, definitely had a very aggressive toe box. So in terms of the actual length itself, you can sort of stick true to size, but the toe box is definitely super shallow. So for myself, apparently my brother could only get true to size, which is a US 9.5, and they still fit me alright. And I do remember, if you wear these for a really long time, they stretch out really nicely. So I would say if you plan to keep your V2s for a very long time, you can stick true to size. But for most people, I would definitely recommend going up half a size, especially for the older V2s. So I'm typically a US 9.5 in most of my sneakers. I've got these in a 9.5, and they're a bit tight, but considering I'm planning to keep these for a while, I think it'll be just fine. Now, in terms of comfort, the V2 has always been one of the most comfortable Yeezys on the market. The way they implement the Boost is really sort of squishy, and the rubber caging they use around it allows the Boost to actually expand quite nicely. Now, getting into the change of the compound, I feel like the Boost has definitely changed over the years, because this doesn't feel as soft as, say, like some of the more recent Yeezys. Most recently, I got a pair of the linens. I already got rid of them, but they felt a little softer than these did. But I would still say that this feels quite nice, and it's still a very comfortable shoe. The upper itself, the prime knit is as expected. It's fairly thick, and actually it's thicker than the more modern Yeezys, which I think makes it feel more premium. It may be a little less breathable, but I wouldn't know. I just haven't worn these out completely just yet. But overall, I would say, you know, the V2 is actually one of the most comfortable Yeezys that exists today. So that's a plus, in my opinion. But now I'll get into the part of the video where I talk about my opinions on this shoe. And honestly, this shoe to me is like a massive indictment on like how far gone we've gotten in terms of like Yeezy quality control and like the shape of the Yeezys. Because this to me is honestly what I think Yeezys should have stayed at. The aggressive shape and just like the quality control on this shoe is so much better than like the most recent Yeezys. I don't know if you guys remember the Cinder release, but like just the shape of that shoe was absolutely disgusting. You had like a really flat opening, the tongue barely came up, and the heel sweep was non-existent. And also just like a lot of times you'll find like the toe box shape's always a little weird, bulbous, or like it's stitched on incorrectly or something like that. And honestly, this is like a remnant of like what the quality control used to be like on Yeezys. And to me, this is honestly a lot more preferable than like a lot of the more modern Yeezys today. The shape is on point, the prime knit feels nice and thick and high quality, and just overall it looks better because of it. I definitely plan to keep these around for a very long time. I might even just beat these to the ground, because this colorway, honestly, as much as I love the zebras, and I still would say the zebras is probably my favorite colorway, I ended up selling my pair because they started to yellow and they don't look that good aged. This shoe, honestly, is probably my second favorite Yeezy, but in terms of wearability, this is probably a Yeezy I could wear almost every day and it'll still look roughly the same from what from when you first buy it. So overall, I'm super stoked that I have these, and I can't wait to get some good wear out of it. And with that, we've come to the end of another video. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of the Yeezy Boost 350 V2. in the Oreo colorway. And out of that black striped pack, which is your favorite? So if I had to put it to an order, I would say, I would say Oreos come first, Coppers would be second, Olives would be third, and then the red stripe, honestly, for me, would be fourth. Just don't really like that it's not actually like a red, it's like a weird salmon. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And if you're into more sneakers, vlogs, dance, that sort of thing, consider subscribing to the channel. Now, time for the on feet, and I'll catch you guys in another video.